Hello friends, welcome to Easy Learning Economics. I am Dr. Keval. Today we shall learn production function. In this lecture we shall discuss that what is production, what are the inputs, what are the fixed and variable inputs, and what is short run and long run period, and what is simple production function, what is technical production function, what is production function with one variable, in which we learn that TP means total productivity, MPL that marginal productivity of labor, APL means average productivity of labor, and EL means elasticity of labor. What are the different three stages of short run production? What is optimal use of variable input? What is the production function with two variable inputs? So this is our lecture plan for today's lecture. So first of all we start that what is production. Production refers to transformation of inputs or resources into output of goods and services. So production is the process of converting the input into output. So what is input? Input are the resources used in the production of goods and services. Some of the inputs are fixed, whereas some of the inputs are variable. So what is fixed inputs? Fixed input does not change during the time period under consideration, while variable inputs are varied easily on very short notice. Fixed inputs are the machineries, plants, building that remain fixed during production, whereas the variable inputs are that the raw material, factory overheads, and the labor that can be changed on very short notice. What is the short run and long run period? Short run is a period during which at least one input is fixed and the firm operates, whereas the long run is period when all inputs are variable and firm plans to increase or reduce its scale of operation. So short run is a period during which firm has no choice to shift from one place to another place or install a new machinery or a plant, and that the firm can increase output by bringing changes in variable input while keeping the fixed factor becomes fixed. Whereas in the long run all the costs are variable, the firm can shift from one place to another place or install a new machinery or plants, or the labor contracts can be renegotiated. So in the long run all costs are variable. What is simple production function? Production function is an equation, table or graph showing the maximum output of commodity that a firm can produce per period of time with each set of inputs that can be substituted for each other. For example, output means Q. Q is the function of L and K. Here L means labor, K means capital. It means the output is function of labor and capital. The production function simply shows the relationship between inputs and output. What is technical production function? If we say that Y is total output or real GDP, L is labor force, and K is capital stock, whereas N is the stock of natural resources, and Z is a variable measuring the current state of technology and efficiency. F is undefined function that simply shows how the resources, labor, capital, and natural resources are combined to produce output. Then the production would be as Y is equal to ZF LKN will be the technical production function, because here the Z is a variable measuring the current state of technology and efficiency. When the output is greater than supposed input, implying an advance in external technological environment, the production function explains the technical relationship among the amount of labor, natural resources, and technology and efficiency in the economy and total output. So it can be said that production function attempts to measure technologically driven advancement through noting increase in overall output without increase in inputs. What is production function with one variable, in which we learn about total product, marginal product of labor, average product of labor, and elasticity of labor. So first of all, we discuss that what is total product. By holding the one input constant and changing the quantity used of other input, we can derive the total product. From the total product, we can derive the marginal and average product. So marginal productivity of labor, it means that the change in total product due to change in labor. Here delta represent change. It means how much change in total production is caused due to 1 unit change in labor. Change in total product per unit change in labor use. It means this is the marginal productivity of labor. What is average productivity of labor? Average product of labor, it means the total product divided by the quantity of labor used. It means the total output when divided by the quantity of labor used, it becomes the average product of labor. Output elasticity of labor, EL means elasticity. Elasticity means the change response of change in quantity demanded with respect to change in labor. So elasticity of labor means percentage change in quantity with respect to percentage change in labor. It means the delta here represents the change. Or we can represent the elasticity of labor as the change in Q over change in L over Q over L. The change in Q over change in L, that would be equals to the marginal productivity of labor, and Q over L is equal to the average product of labor. So elasticity of labor means the marginal productivity of labor over the average productivity of labor. The law of diminishing return in stages of production. In detail we covered the law of diminishing returns and returns to scale. If you have not watched my video, you can watch. So this is physical law and is based on some assumptions which has been found always empirically true. Law of diminishing marginal return states that as the firm uses more and more variable inputs with same amount of fixed input, each additional unit of variable input has less and less of fixed input to work, and after a point the marginal product of variable product declines. It means law of diminishing return states that when doses of labor and capital are applied on fixed factor of lane, every successive dose of labor and capital gives marginal production with diminishing rate. The declining portion of marginal product of variable input is reflection of law of diminishing return. The law of diminishing returns tells that greater output can be produced by employing even less labor. There are three stages of short-term production: increasing return, constant return, and diminishing return. And we have already discussed in detail in our videos that what is law of diminishing return, increasing return, and constant return. We are very familiar that increasing return is also known as law of decreasing cost, and constant return is also known as law of constant cost, and law of decreasing return is also known as law of increasing cost. So in detail we have covered these things. Here that the total product, average product, and marginal product curves with variable labor input help in understanding the three stages of short-term production function: increasing, constant, and diminishing returns. Short-term production function is simply that the quantity is function of labor. You can see here the K with bar. It means the K means capital is constant. Short-term production function is the function in which the output can be increased through changes in variable factors. So short-term production function, output is function of labor and variable inputs. The law of returns to factor explains short-term production function. The laws of production describe the possible ways of increasing production. Optimal use of variable input. It means how much the firm should hire the labor. So the firm should continue to hire labor as long as MRPL, it means the marginal revenue product of labor, is greater than marginal resource cost of labor, and until the marginal revenue product of labor is equals to the marginal resource cost of labor. What is marginal revenue product of labor? The marginal revenue product of labor is an extra revenue generated by use of an additional unit of labor. Marginal revenue product of labor is equal to marginal product of labor multiplied by the marginal revenue. MR means marginal revenue. Marginal revenue product of labor represent the firm demand schedule of labor. The marginal resource cost of labor, MRCL. So the marginal resource cost of labor is equals to increase in total cost resulting from hiring the additional unit of labor. So marginal resource cost of labor can be phrased in formula that the change in total cost with respect to change in per unit labor. The production function with two variable inputs. Production function with two variable inputs can be represented by the isoquant. So what is isoquant? Iso means same, quant means quantity. The isoquant shows that the same quantity or same output the producer can produce by various combination of inputs. So isoquant shows the various combination of two inputs that the firm can use to produce a specific level of output, assuming that labor and capital are continuously divisible. It is all about the simple introduction about the production function. I hope that you have a better knowledge about production function. There are different forms of production function. In the next lecture, we shall discuss the Cobb-Douglas production function. So if you have any query, you may ask in comment box. Thanks for watching.